Okay, in example 2, it's saying that Jimmy surveyed 12 students, 12 children, to find out how much money they received from the tooth fairy. And so then it says use the data to make a histogram. Okay, first step though is that we're going to make a frequency table. We want to find out how frequent we see each value. So the only thing different with the histogram though is that the histogram is going to show a range. You know, it would be a very kind of confusing and cluttered graph if we were to graph each one of these different dollar amounts. And so instead what we're going to do is we're going to choose like a range. The ranges have to be the same increments for each one. So here's what I mean. We're going to say from $0 to 99 cents. That will be one of the ranges. So anything that falls in there, we'd count them up and then place how many times we see that down the bottom. Okay, the next range also has to have an even amount here, the same number of values. And so this is going to be from $1 to $1.99. That's going to be our range for the second one. Okay, then we'll have a range of $2 to $2.99. And then it looks like we only need to include one more, and that range is going to be $3 to $3.99. Okay, so let's go back and we'll take a look at our data and fill it how many times we see each one. So anything that we see that is less than $1 is going to fall in this category, and I see that happening. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and so I'm going to write the frequency is 4. Okay, for $1 to $1.99. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3 times that occurs, so I'll put a 3 there. $2 to $2.99. 1, 2, just 2 times, and so the last one must be 1, 2, 3. 3 times that occurs. Okay, so from this we can now move on and make a histogram. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that, and just for ease I'm going to pull in a little bit of a graph paper here. Okay, and again, so we need to have our 2 axes. Okay, axis this way, another axis is going to go across. Okay, we said the frequency is on this side here. Okay, so the frequency must be labeled. Frequency. Okay, and at the bottom, this is the amount of money received. Just going to abbreviate here for time. Okay, I need to include down here the same ranges that I had in my frequency table. So specifically, down here will be 0 to 99 cents. Okay, and you know, I'm going to move that over just a little bit. I'm going to try and give each one of these the same things. I have 4 different things I need to graph, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's going to be my first area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and so 0 to 99 cents, $1 to $1.99, 2 to $2.99, and 3 to $3.99. Okay, frequency on the side here. I'm going to skip a little bit so I use up a lot of the space. It's a good idea for my audience because this way they can see something a little bit bigger than what they would, you know, if I crunch it down and made it really small, it's going to be hard to read. So I'm going to skip a couple spaces here. And I'll say, I'll make this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's a little bit bigger. It's not as big as I wanted it. And also I like to go beyond the data just a little bit. Okay, so with this now, I'm going to go back to my frequency table and take a look that for this one, for this range, I need to go up 4 high. So I'm here, come over, and then I drop it down. Okay, the difference between this, the histogram, and a bar graph is that the lines are going to touch because there's nothing that can fit in between. There's nothing, no monetary value that's going to fit between 99 cents and $1. So that's why these bars are going to touch. But for this range, this only needs to go up to 3. Okay, so I'm going to draw my line over here and draw it down. Okay. For the $2 to $2.99, it looks like I only get it dropped down to 2. That occurs twice. And then for the last one, a very generous tooth fairy is going, there are 3 people that get in the range of $3 to $3.99. So it's going to go back up to 3. Bring it over and bring this down. So again, touching on a couple key points, you do have to have both axes labeled. You have to have the bars being the same width, and the bars will touch on a histogram.